What's up guys, it's Matt Collins Jones here, also known as the D365 Geek, and today we're talking about Power Automate and the CDS Current Environment Connector, and we're going to look at the Get Record action with Expand Query. So Expand Query allows you to actually pull back information from a related entity. So if you do a lookup to a quote, for instance, you could look at the opportunity data. If you're looking at a contact, you could look at the account data, that sort of thing. So it allows you to actually pull back information. Now the reason why this is helpful is that it allows you to do things in a single step rather than multi-steps. So if you needed to get information about a contact record, an account record, and an opportunity record, you could maybe combine those together and say, right, okay, I need to look up the account record, and of that account record, I also want to pull back the primary contact record, and that's what I'm going to show today. How to pull back information in a single step from multiple places. So I'm in Power Automate here. I have my CDS current environment flow, which is inside a solution, and therefore I get access to the CDS current environment connectors. We have a trigger, and the trigger is when an opportunity is updated, specifically when the purchase time frame is updated. Then we're going to click on New Step, and in the search bar we're going to type in common data, and once this loads we should see the two common data service connectors here, the regular one and the current environment one, which I'll be using. So then we get a list of actions, and the third one down is get a record. Now here we are looking for an entity name and an item ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up an account, and I'm going to bring through some data from the account, and then I am also going to pull some information about the primary contact on that account. So in the entity name here, I'm going to choose accounts, item ID. This is going to be the field account value. So this is populated on my opportunity, and that is what's going to look up my records. Then we're going to click on Show Advanced Options, and we have Select Query and Expand Query. So Select Query I previously showed in a video. This allows you to limit the number of fields that are coming back in your query. Expand Query allows you to pull back fields from a related entity. So whereas select is the current entity, expand is a related entity. Now, to get the expand query, you could write it if you're good at OData, but I'm not good at OData, so I'm going to use one of my favorite tools in the XML toolbox, which is the Fetch XML Builder made by Mr. Jonas Rapp. Big shout out to Jonas, he is a legend for building this thing, and everyone else that contributed to this project as well. So this is not going to be an in-depth video of how to use the Fetch XML Builder. I'm just going to build a simple one so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm in my Fetch XML Builder here. I'm already connected to my environment, so that's all good. And the entity that we're going to choose is we're going to choose account. Now the reason we're choosing account is because we basically want to create a query that expands from the account record. So you start at account and then you link your entities together through the relationships and then pull back any information you want. So we'll choose account, and then we will we'll pull back a couple of account things as well. So we'll choose account name and account number. And then we're going to add a link entity onto this. So we click link entity, and then I'm going to choose the relationship because it populates everything for me, and I'm lazy and get this wrong all the time. So account.primaryContact, contact.contactID. So this is meaning that the relationship, which is the account.primaryContact, and then the ID, which is contact.contactID. So it's basically saying whatever the primary contact is, essentially. So we choose that, it automatically populates those things in there, and then we can see our Fetch XML is updating here. From here, I can select a couple of other details. So I'll pull through full name in there. We'll choose email there, and we'll also choose business phone, which is telephone 1. So there I was actually selecting entities for my link entity. So I've got these attributes that are on my account entity, then we're linking to the primary contact, and then on the contact entity, we're going to bring back full name, email address, and telephone. So it's that simple. Now, Jonas and whoever else contributes to this, I think Mark Carrington may have contributed to this at one point. They built in this function to allow you to view Power Automate parameters. So once you've built your fetch XML in here, by the way, you can also open from a view inside Dynamics or load in other fetch XML that you've downloaded. It's a fantastic tool, you should really use that. Once you've got your fetch XML in here, you can click on View, Power Automate Parameters, and then you get this. So you get the different parameters that you want to pull back. So in this instance, I'm going to click on this expand query down here, and that will be copied to my clipboard, and then I can I can use this to populate in my Power Automate flow. So if I go back to my flow and go to expand query, I can just paste this in, and then it's all written for me. So it's basically saying we're going to look at the primary contact ID relationship, and then we're going to select just these three parameters: the full name, the email address, and the telephone number. And that's all we want. So we will test this out. So I'll perform the trigger action. We'll click on test, and that will start to run. And then if we go back in here, oops, I was using my level up before to get the name of the thing. Then we're in an opportunity here. The account name is Wayne Enterprises, which we've used in previous videos, and Wayne Enterprises has a primary contact, Bruce Wayne. So if I update the purchase time frame to say next quarter, hit save, that'll trigger my flow to run. Just to show you, if I go to Wayne Enterprises, we have a primary contact over here of Bruce Wayne. If I flip back to my Power Automate, nope, wrong window, this one, there we go, it's just run. We can see it ran successfully, and once the page loads up, we can see what we've got back. I am having a slight issue with my Power Automate today, just with pages not rendering, so it might just be that. There we go, 24 seconds ago. We'll just click into here to see if this sees it a bit quicker. So usually this will be fine. I think my system is just running a bit slower today. See, it ran successfully this time, and we're just waiting for this to pop up. And there we go, it popped up, so we can see this is triggered from the opportunity, and then we can go to get a record, and we've got the account name that we pull back here. We also have the body here, and we also have details about the primary contact, and we've got the body from the primary contact as well. So if I click on see more, oh sorry, the primary contact is this top one, and the body at the bottom is like the get record for the account. So we can see that we pull back primary contact, and we can see that these are the names of the fields we've got about full name, email address, telephone 1. We've also got a couple of additional pieces of information that Power Automate brings us, and then the rest of this body is for the account. So if I scroll down towards the bottom, the fields are actually named after the relationship. So we've got primary contact full name, Bruce Wayne, primary contact email, there's the email, primary contact business phone there. So as you can see, this allows you to get related pieces of information, and as I said, this will make your, well, like the select query, this will make your flows a lot more efficient. You're not having to go off and query this and then that, and then this other record to get back all the information that you want. I know for me, I've built flows in the past where you've had to send an email based on a quote. That's got to look up to the account, it's got to look up to the opportunity to get some information from there, it's got to look up to the contact to get some information from there, and then put all that together. Previously that would be several steps. Now you can easily do it in a single step using the list records or the get a record, and using the expand query to pull that information back. And if you are not confident with building your own OData query, you can use the Fetch XML Builder inside the XRM toolbox, and it'll build it all for you. So it's a fantastic tool. I highly recommend everyone use it, and go download it today. But I hope that explains expand query to you. It's something that I wasn't very familiar with, so I've started to get used to it and understanding the way that works. It's going to make all my flows a lot more efficient from now on, allow me to do a lot of things much simpler. So I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think people should use this and people should know about it. So I hope this has taught you something. If you've not used this before, let me know what you think about this being included in Power Automate. If you have used this before, what sort of data do you query? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please like and please share it with your friends. It's always appreciated. If you've not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.